I never thought I'd find myself agreeing with a Tory, but it happened. Safe to say that I think we know who's helping fund GB News. Bev Turner, the sports commentator turned conspiracy theorist, tried to educate Tom Tugendhat, a former lieutenant colonel that served in Iraq and Afghanistan, on the definition of an invasion. Now, I did try to find the entire interview, but unfortunately I don't watch GB News and they haven't put it up on their website, so I've had to grab this little clip from Twitter. But what she says is absolutely ridiculous. You can see that they've thrown their full support behind the Mad Orange one and literally siding with Russia, claiming it was operational manoeuvres, when clearly it was an invasion. An invasion they thought that would take 3 days, not 3 years. It's these sort of people that are going to be the first to be shouting the loudest when Putin sets his sights on the next European country. Give him a free pass here and he'll just not stop. And as he marches towards Blighty, do you really think they're still going to be propping him up? Now, I know it must have been difficult for the Conservatives to stand up to Trump and Putin. We know that they both admire Donald Trump's attitude and quite enjoy Russian oligarchs' money. So fair play to Tom Tugendhat. I'm really glad that he called it all out.
What do you think Vladimir Putin, went into that special military operation in 2022 for in the east of Ukraine?
So it's only the Russians who call it a special military operation. Everybody else calls it what it is.
No, it's not actually. It's not actually. Some of Trump's government will now also call it a special military operation because they will say if he deliberately wanted to go in and take over Ukraine, he wouldn't have sent in so few troops. If he wanted ambition to take over the whole of Ukraine, he could have done that. And he didn't do that. He was trying to force a negotiation to the table, surely.
No, that's not true, Bev. That is completely rewriting history.
It isn't.
He sent shock troops. No, Bev, come on, let's look at the facts, right? He sent shock troops into the airport just outside Kiev, thinking it would be a really easy run. He thought that his armoured columns would get through all the way to Kiev, coming from Belarus. It was completely clear. What we discovered was that his army is so corrupt that it simply cannot manage the fuel and logistics to keep an armoured column going for 100 kilometres. Now, that's not because he designed it so. It's because he is an appalling dictator.
Bev is not understanding the mentality of someone like Putin. She's not understanding what he's about.
You're not understanding the history, Carol. You don't understand the history.
I do understand the history. And what about if somebody decided to invade this country and took a big chunk of it, would you just say, no, let me finish. Would you just say, oh, well, you can have that because historically, however many hundreds of years ago, that might have been, might have been yours. So would you just agree to that?
But that's not what he did.
That is what he did. That's exactly what he did. He went in and took a part of Ukraine.
He sat on his hands for 8 years.
What do you mean?
No, he didn't sit on his hands. He had the troops massed on the border for 8 months.
Whilst Russian people living in Ukraine, 14,000 of them were killed by Ukraine. Ethnic Russians living in that area. It was already a war zone.
I always thought Tom Tugendhat was one of the moderate Tories, but then I saw his leadership campaign and he went full-on right-wing. Put me right off him, if I'm honest. And it's not only me that he put off, even Sky News got bored of his campaign speeches and cut him off halfway through one, which you can see in the video that's on screen now. So go watch that next. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button.